Warning. You are about to, just continue to watch this thing because it's a real thing, he says. It doesn't matter. Hello, beautiful people. Today is day 184 of office hours. That's right. It's the every single day Five Nation checking in with Scam School. Nearly 2 million subscribers. The Modern Rogue, 1.7 million subscribers. X.com/Schwoid with 1.3 million subscribers. And, of course, the fine folks over at LinkedIn, the hardest of the hardcores, the elites, the Diamond Clubs, right over at twitch.tv/Night Attack. Why don't you guys join us, won't you? Join us at the Diamond Club. It's grand. All right, you beautiful people. Today we've got news stories and we've got actually a fantastic trick. If you're just new here, we're slow walking all the way through the back catalog of Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street, which makes Scam School the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. This one's a great one. Now, eventually, we're going to get to an FTC report that they revealed the number one source of fraud and scams in 2025. You would think, well, actually, whatever you think, lock in your guess. And in fact, as we watch this episode of Scam School, you're going to be placing another bet because we have Guess Attack, GUESSATTACK.com from BioCow. That's where you're going to lock in your predictions for just how popular this episode was as we jump in, watch the entirety of Scam School episode 82, The Heist. We're going to go ahead and put your questions in the chat. We'll address those, give you behind-the-scenes intel, and dive right in after this. Here we go.
This week, the sequel to one of our hardest puzzles ever, and it's even more unbeatable. This episode of Scam School brought to you by your home for domain smacks, those evil geniuses at GoDaddy. Welcome to the show with a college budget, high school content, and a grade school mentality. Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. This week we follow up one of our all-time most difficult, challenging puzzles with the sequel. So get ready for The Heist, Part 2. Hey there, I'm Brian. What's your name?
Jess.
Jess, and you are?
Robin.
Robin, it's good to meet you guys. Now, you guys have seen Scam School before, right?
Yes.
And so you know that sometimes we do tricks just for the hell of it, and other times we do tricks with the intention of scamming a free beer, right? This is one of those I'm going to scam a free beer off of you type things. It's one of those unbeatable puzzles. So in this case, a while ago, we did a show called The Heist. And in this episode, we had the treasure of the ancients, a $5 bill underneath a pint glass. And the goal was to defeat a security sensor in order to steal the $5 bill. And I don't know if it's our rough economic times or what, but this is our new treasure of the ancients. But don't worry, it's not going to be just a nickel. That nickel is worth one tasty beer. I'll be happy to buy a drink from both of you, so that's like 2 against 1, right? But you have to defeat our high-tech security system. Now we're going to start off with it super easy. We're going to say this is a dummy safe. There's no alarms, there's no locks, there's no anything. So you can open the safe, you can close the safe. If you're going to steal the treasure of the ancients, how are you going to do it?
You're going to open the safe.
Yes.
And take the treasure.
That's right.
And
just
win
like
a beer.
that. And win a beer. By the way, thank you for not actually snatching the nickel and refusing to give it back until I gave you a beer. So now we're going to get a little more advanced. So let's say these guys, they've been ripped off a few times. Now here's the real challenge. In order to deal with so many people attempting to steal their treasure of the ancients, they set up a security system. And here's what the security system measures. When this alarm goes off, it will immediately call the cops. The moment that nickel falls over, the alarm goes off. And once we close the safe, the moment anything touches the safe, the alarm goes off. If anything moves the safe, the alarm goes off. If there's seismic activity, the alarm goes off. The only way to get at the treasure of the ancients is to deactivate that security system. And the way you deactivate the security system is by getting the security system to fall off of the nickel. Once it loses contact and falls off, you can open the safe and do whatever you want and steal the treasure of the ancients. Within those rules, how are you going to do it?
Well, I can't touch the glass.
You can't touch the glass. And you, by the way, it doesn't...
If I touch it, it's going to go off.
That's true. That is true.
And I lose.
But you can use different objects. Remember,
Yeah.
you're a jewel thief, so you got all
Yeah.
kinds of tools. So whatever tools you want to grab, you feel free to
I
use.
can use this pepper
You could use pepper.
and
You
like
could-
pepper it. That didn't work.
The power of pepper compels you.
I have no idea. You got any ideas, Jess? I don't know what to do. I can't touch it.
You want
I
to try?
give up.
You know what?
I don't know.
You
what
guys
to
give
do.
up too easy.
I don't
Come
know what to
on.
do.
He was like, I just want to know the answer, Brian. Just hurry up and tell me. I'll buy you the beer.
We'll napkin over this.
You're gonna do a magic trick.
didn't work.
You lay it to rest and you pull it back.
I got the nickel.
Oh, that's. You know what? If you had done that, I'd buy you like 8 beers for the rest of the night. That
I
would have been
wish.
awesome. Now, the problem, if there is a problem with this one, is that the rules are so restrictive, people like you guys have a tendency to just give up. They figure there's obviously no way this is remotely possible. But some of the things people often try, they'll often try sliding something. In fact, that's what I thought you were going to do with the napkin. I just hit the table. Which is one of the things people try. They'll hit the table, and then you got to remind them that seismic activity will set off the alarm. And it does take a little bit of practice to get everything very carefully set up. There you go. And in fact, what's funny, we figured out earlier that this table is not 100% level. So it's also important that you find a perfectly level table as well. Some people try to slide something underneath. A lot of people blow on it, figuring if they blow the safe over, it'll knock over the stuff, and that will, but the problem is the safe can't move either. And that's why you got to be very specific in the rule setup. I'm going to show you how to do this, but first we got to thank the people who make Scam School possible.
This week, we continue our search for the ultimate domain smack. What's a domain smack? Well, in short, domains are so ridiculously cheap through a sponsor at GoDaddy.com that you can register one just to make a point. And that's what we got from user CRThomas42 on Twitter, who registered the domain.
Oh no! Oh no! I wasn't talking to anyone. How about that? Whoopsie! Here we go.
Famous people. By the way, if you want to register a domain smack, head on over to GoDaddy.com.
Oh, no.
Make sure
Oh,
you
no.
use the promo code
That's all right.
SCAM3.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Remind me later to tell you about going to the Meshtastic meetup in Austin. A really neat group of people. We have a Meshtastic episode coming out, and well, we'll talk about it. Here we go.
Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.
All right, you guys ready for the answer?
Yeah.
Now, are you hungry enough for the answer that you would buy me a beer in exchange for it?
We will buy you a watermelon leaf.
I like it. Done and done. Right here at the 21st Amendment. There you go. Step one, I made that magically fall over on you. So one of the episodes I'm betting you didn't see is we did an episode called Science Friction, where we showed that if you pinch the wrapper of a straw as it comes off, it charges it with static electricity. And you can actually build that static electricity up even more by rubbing it on a napkin. And once you have that charge,
Oh, it's moving.
isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Takes a little bit of manipulation. Now already it's lost its charge. That's how fast it goes. So once you get it built up, here we go. Oh, look at that. You can see it. Alarm's disabled. And the treasure is yours. Let's hear it for Robin. Well done.
I do with his help.
That's right.
I don't know.
But see, it's a wash because you're going to buy me a drink for the answer, and now I have to buy you one for that. You're just screwed. I'm sorry, Jess.
Leave it now.
Well, thank you guys so much. That was a lot of fun. Appreciate it. Thank you guys. Now, if you're going to pull this one off, make sure to use the exact same materials in the exact same place you practiced it. A tiny difference in humidity can render your current materials completely unusable. By the way, if you have any questions about this scam, write me directly at brian@revision3.com. Or if you want to watch any of the episodes back to episode 1, join us at scamschool.tv. If you're doing the Twitter thing, join us over at twitter.com/scamschool. And you can follow my goofy adventures at twitter.com/schwood. Next week, we're going to be learning how to preserve your battery life by keeping your laptop in your freezer. But until then, I got to go get another beverage.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's so wild because one of the comments mentioned there being, what do you call it, post-credit sequences, but I guess they're not there. Look at this stuff. Well, I've been watching Scam School Scam Nation for years and only now noticing the blooper reels at the end. Whoops. Also, I think I might have flashed the thing I'm not supposed to flash, which is the number of views. We'll talk about this particular episode, but for right now, remember that this was shot in, I guess, it was released in October of 2009, but then it showed up on the YouTube channel as part of the initial dump of all of the episodes on December 29th, 2009. So the question is, how popular did this one get on its own? On the one hand, it's a good trick with a good setup, and I doubly like the fact that ideologically, like, this was a really good first episode to come into and watch because it's clear that Scam School is a thing. It's in progress. The other people had heard of it, despite the fact that, YouTube wasn't a thing yet or didn't even have a presence on YouTube. Lots of hyperlinks to previously ons and other episodes and flashbacks. So it feels like a fully formed organism. But the question is, how many views did it end up getting? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to head on over to guessattack.com. Look at this. I'm going to guessattack.com. Yeah. So we're checking out how many views do we think this episode got? Winner gets to be on the leaderboard. Oh, we're going to have to have a leaderboard of who has the most wins. Interesting. Magic 51 says 117,000. Argyle Gargoyle says 13,000. Who the F word are you? Says 13,000. Earth 56 says 39,000. Scary Steve says 28,323. G James B at 45,000. Banter at 27,000. Bio Cow. Could we have our first ever tie? What? Crazy. Oh, yeah, it's Adam with 42,069. Nice. Matt York says 40,000. Curtis Hoffman, 6956, says 50,000. Flying Car 100 says 34,000. Kean Lafford, all the way from, what kind of country is Ireland? All the way from Emerald Island, Ireland. Sure, why not? Says 16,000. Donkey King says 23,456. Charles Rubach with 36,499. You know what? BioCow. If we're vibe coding this, it seems like we could probably vibe code a part that does a fetch and lets us reveal what the real answer is. Oh, 2 guesses for 13,000 as well. Ah, interesting. I know. Look at that, 2 for 2. I said a leaderboard. No good deed goes unpunished. Look, man, you could call it that, or you could say that when greatness calls, the great, GR8IDA, stand up. Also, I haven't turned on spells. All right, and the actual number is originally published on December 29, 2009, as part of the initial bucket. The real number is 38,666. What? Dun, 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 dun. It's a very wet and rainy island in Ireland today. So let's see. Who was the first? We're about to find out, I think. Here, I'll just enter Cheaty Bry. 77777. There you go. Okay. Oh, look at that. They all showed up. And then you already guessed, it's Cheaty Bry. That's right. That's true. So who was closest? Did we get a tie? Is that what just happened? 38,666. Okay. Yeah, 38,666. Off by only 334. It's Earth 56. Congratulations. Sorry, I didn't mean congratulations. What I meant was well done, Earth 56. Well done. We salute you. That's great. All right. Also, if you're new here, here's a magical thing. I'm a big fan of secret modes of communication, interesting threads where messages can go back and forth. Oh, this is hilarious. Somebody said, I feel C blocked. You're right. There was no C block in this one. Yeah, that's right. But it didn't feel incomplete without it. But that's the interesting illusion. I guess because in this case, the solution had enough story to it and the amazement was enough. I probably should have had them perform it. That's a good point. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, secret messages, basically ways to communicate. That's part of the reason I'm interested in Meshtastic or Meshcore, these hidden networks of folks. And in this case, you know, there have been a number of cases of steganography, people having secret communications in plain sight, whether it's in game for like EVE Online or World of Warcraft or MMOs or whatever, or out in the open on chats. There's some terrible ones in which creepers are passing message to each other, and terrorists, creepers and terrorists passing messages around. There we go. But in this case, I like the fact that every single one of these comments, going back for 17 years, is an artifact to a time that somebody posted something, a letter that went through time and space to here. And the awesome part about YouTube is that you can communicate back, and some version of an older version of them will receive it. There we go. So while I answer all of these, y'all can go nutty on the whiteboard, which I will repost in the chat. There we go. Aha. Let me get that URL. I'm going to post it in the version that can send messages to everyone. There we go. Great. So we'll start with, I think I figured out what's up with Brian's old hairstyle. Instead of selling his soul to get Mr. Happy Pants to make a guest appearance, Brian agreed to let the demon style his hair. Hashtag headcanon. CANON. Love this show. Thank you. BB, best channel on YouTube. You're too kind. That was awesome, right? So glad it came out so well. Awesome. Thanks. Oh, man. I stuck around at the end looking for a blooper reel and didn't find one on this episode. LOL. By the way, you should join us for the live stream revisits. They're a treat. This reminds me of that time me and my friends were at lunch where one kid dared me and another to open a milk carton and drink it with only chopsticks. We did it. LOL. Future episode. Good trick. Glad you dug it. Wow. I bought a Zune a lifetime ago, and Scam School was one of the few video podcasts available. In 2019, Brian is still making memorable content. You're too kind. We're revisiting all the old episodes during live streams daily if you'd like to join us. You can't. That's seismic activity. Oh, that's somebody else. I'm here from 2:15:19. 4:30:26 checking in. Man, this shit brings me back to the good old days. Learning bar tricks from Brian to try on my dad's mates. Great times. We're revisiting all the old episodes daily on the live streams. Join us. His hair still slaps. Yes. I figured it out from the beginning. Hooray. I'm a time traveler from 22/3/2020. Reply 30/04/2026 checking in. Reporting in. I think that would count as touching it. That's a reply. A lot of the replies get mixed up on this stuff. Do we have a video on how to balance a matchstick? It helped to use 2 fingers and let it drop. This single comment killed the show. Hope you're happy. How can I get to part 1? Just search Scam School the Heist. I sorta told ya. Slice it over the table, hitting the glass and making the alarm fall off the wall. That's touching it. What are the materials used? A straw and a match? What? Okay. Here, we'll just do... Oh, wait. Scam School. Oh, yeah. Where is that? Crazy. Well, this'll do.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, that's right. That's me from a little bit ago. Here. I recorded this so you could find it. Sorry, I'm 2 years late. Brian. Boom. Boom. It would be better if you tell them the only tool you get is a straw. I think I clearly said they can use anything. They are so wasted. You better believe it. I figured it out this first time. You're great. Okay. Could you also use a lighter and ice to create a temperature differential? Try it. Let me know. There we go. Easy. Easy today. Arr, yar, arr. There it is. Yard. Cool. All right. Oh, look at this. So now we got to do this. We got this guy. Let's see. We got through that. We got through that. We got through that. All right. Let's talk about the FTC. Look at that. Let me get this article for you guys. So here's one for you. Lock in your bet. What do you think the #1 source of scams is? Well, I already showed the answer. It's
It's social media. That's the feeder gateway for all of this. Let me get rid of this. There we go. Maybe I'll try it like this. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah. New FTC data shows that people have lost billions to social media scams. All right. Now, keep in mind, social media is not where you execute the scam. That is where you begin the scam. That is what they call in sales circles top of funnel. New data from the Federal Trade Commission show that in 2025, of everybody who reported losing money, this is an important bias, right? So we're not saying that 30% of social media scams, although wouldn't surprise me, but 1/3 of everybody who end up losing money to a scam said it started on social media, with reported losses reaching a staggering 2.1 billion. Social media scams, they produce far more in losses. There we go. Social media scams produce far more in losses, an 8-fold increase since 2020 than any other contact method used by scammers to reach customers. That means it overtook spam, direct mail, advertisements, late night infomercials, etc. The data spotlight, all right, we'll go ahead and open that up in a different tab, notes that social media creates easy access to billions of people from anywhere in the world. That's right, making a scammer's job much easier, even more effective than those SMS texts that you're getting. Like an SMS text, you're literally knocking on everyone's door, but social media in particular sets up an opportunity to engage in seductive behavior. And because it's more magnetic and hypnotic, it's easier to pull people in. Scammers may hack a user's account, exploit what a user posts to figure out how to target them, or buy ads and use the same tools used by real businesses to target people by age, interests, or shopping habits. You guys may have seen the headline that Meta is currently in some shit because whoopsie doodle, they totally knew which ones of their ad revenues were from full-on scams. And what do? They didn't bravely refuse to take the money. They just charged more, which means they basically said, let us in on the grift. Reports show that in 2025, people reported losing more money to scams that started on Facebook than on any other social media platform. Demographically, this totally makes sense. Who's on Facebook? Your parents, right? Who else is on Facebook? People who are there specifically for emotional support and reasons. You'll notice each of the platforms tell on themselves. I think that even after the Musk takeover of Twitter, the prompt always says, what's going on? Verbs, actions. What are you doing? What is happening right now, right? Whereas Facebook's prompt, we're always feeling based. How are you feeling? What's going on in your head? That most intimate and precious of place. So you're going to have a bias. That's the reason that Facebook devolves into rage baiting and just throwing mud at each other in that highly charged environment. To put it bluntly, you ain't using your whole brain. And if you ain't using your whole brain, and you could be goaded into acting emotionally, whether it's out of greed, opportunity, emotion, enragement, then that's where scammers love to be. And Facebook, being the realm of feelings, is a rich, fertile ground. Of course, we saw that with the political attempts to manipulate there. Reports show that in 2025, people reported losing more money to scams that started on Facebook than on any other social media platform. WhatsApp and Instagram were a distant second and third. Are all three of those Meta? Did Meta take 1, 2, and 3 for straight up fraud? Just asking questions. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not accusing Meta of being the dawn of scams. But if they were, I might be interested to calculate exactly how much of their quarterly revenues is straight up criminal, or at least directly profiting from criminals. That would be an unpopular thing to say. Thankfully, I'm not on a Meta platform. Yeah, I don't think I am. I think we repost to some of those. That's bad, gang. That's bad, and it looks an awful lot like it's the jaws are clamping. ATL John Boy says, to be fair, Facebook is a target-rich environment. Yeah, when you're dealing with emotion, that's where scams live. People reported losing far more money to scams on Facebook alone than they reported to losing text or email scams. Text and email can both be emotionally valenced, but in general, you don't go there specifically to feel something, whereas you do for Facebook. The data also shows that all age groups, with the exception of those 80 and over, reported losing more money to scams that started on social media than any other contact method. And social media ranks second after phone calls to those 80 and over. As you guys know, social media, I think everybody knows, is rife with scams, and there are emerging protections in that space. Where I see the puck moving, and where I think is the important part, is phone calls and virtual fake humans who will show up, be useful, and then eventually lure you into a manipulative, emotionally driven decision. According to FTC data, social media scams come in different forms, including investment scams. That's pulling the greed lever. People reported losing the most amount of money last year to investment scams that originated on social media, with losses of $1.1 billion, more than half the total amount lost to social media scams, according to FTC data. These scams often started with an ad post or offering program to teach you how to invest. So ultimately, you have the emotional lever of greed or of ambition. And so it begins offering a program. Now, they probably give you general good tips to get you started. Probably something that is a dopamine inducing start. Something that fuels and probably even pays off and works in the short term. Other scammers posed as friendly advisors or created WhatsApp groups full of successful investors sharing fake testimonials. Funny part is they don't even have to be fake. Some of these can be real testimonials. But in that case, you're not playing on greed so much as envy. Shopping scams. Shopping scams were the most reported type of social media scam last year, with more than 40% of people who lost money to a scam on social media reporting that they ordered something they saw in an ad. Everything from clothes to makeup to car parts, even puppies. Many of these ads led to unfamiliar websites, while others sent people to sites impersonating well-known brands that claim to offer big discounts. So in this case, you get the emotional lever of consumerism, completionism, and then that leads not to a fraud in a transactional sense, but an added layer of friction that allows things to get compromised. Romance scams. Romance scams. So we're talking about people who lost money, 60%. Reports show that romance scams also thrive on social media. Nearly 60% of people who reported losing money to a romance scam in 2025 said it started on a social media platform. According to reports, scammers often tailored their pitch based on people's profiles. That's the thing. That is the thing. We talk about, you guys have seen what a fan or what a non-fan I am of bubbled environments. I take my informational hygiene very seriously. I always try to see how things look from different social strata, from different ethnicities, from different citizenships. Whether you make a lot of money, a little money, I want to see the world from the outside, because everybody's telling on themselves with what levers they're trying to pull. And when you tailor your environment, when you get brittle by not engaging in a
heterogeneous diet of information, you are weak. Your brain's mush, soft, weak, eating candy all day. Get out there, eat some vegetables, ideological vegetables, whether you like them or not. Go see something you ain't never seen before and try to not get mad at it. Pretend you're an alien. Encounter this world as it is, not as whatever that holodeck is inside your head is. According to reports, scammers often tailored their pitch based on people's profiles, later inventing a crisis, that's how it always goes, requiring money or casually offering investment advice to draw them into a fake investment platform. Again, doesn't even have to be a fake investment platform. Could just be a layer. Maybe they'll say, oh, it's this famous platform. Just use, but I get a referral code if you go here. Sure, that makes sense, I guess. And then all of a sudden you have a man-in-the-middle attack between you and your money. To help steer clear of scams on social media, the FTC advises customers to, number one, limit who could see your posts and contacts on social media. Go to your privacy settings and set up some restrictions. Yeah, I don't love this. I don't love this because it doesn't solve the real problem. In fact, it might be worse because if you trust the platform, oh, but I set my stuff to limited, then you're still leaving all your mental doors wide open and you're exposed, but you're worse than exposed because you're exposed in a way where you feel protected, but you're not. I perceive that I am broadcasting at all times on everything. Now, that is a difficult way to live a life for a lot of folks. And I'm not saying you have to be that way. But I will say that a side effect of knowing that I'm broadcasting at all time is that I am on guard for whatever highly tailored things come at me. More now than ever. Not quite to the level of paranoia, but healthy skepticism. And part of that is just doing the reps. Encounter a lot of fakers. A lot of fakers. A whole lot of fakers. But by developing the habit and routine of being on guard, you're able to reduce your chances of getting got. Never let someone you have met only on social media direct your investment decisions. Instead, learn more about spotting investment scams. Okay, that's a box checking bit of advice. I don't love it because it essentially says, have you tried not falling for scams? And also, met only on social media, not strong enough. Not strong enough because now, if I was designing spear phishing email scams, I wouldn't try the direct method that everyone does now. I would not pretend to be the police or what have you. Those are broadcast thinking ideas. Now, with the compute that people have, I would do a profile and I would find out in somebody's network a highly charged relationship, and I would pretend to be a version of that relationship. And then I would create essentially an email-based or phone-based man-in-the-middle attack. Like, for example, if you got a phone call, imagine the phone rings. Pick any member of your family who is maybe troubled and you haven't heard from in a bit. And imagine the phone rings. And it's someone, clearly a human. It's not a human. Somebody introduces themselves as a friend of a estranged family member. And then they tell you what they've been up to. And they tell you that they're in trouble. This is a fundamentally different relational architecture. Now, maybe Galaxy Brain Futurist Brian is giving brilliant insights for the bad guys. I would rather all of you good guys have it and be a step ahead of it. Before you buy, check out the company. Search online for its name plus scam or complaint. This is bad. Well, let me put it this way. This is far from enough. There are institutional rehabilitators out there. There was one dude that was essentially running a rainmaker operation, He had literal magic was his method to get people rich. And when you typed in this person's name on Google, the autocomplete was the word scam. And then when you went to his books, they all on Amazon had 1-star reviews. And they said, this person is literally claiming magic is real. And this is not really a financial instrument. And then one day, none of that was true. And then one day, the book reviews came in at 4 stars. And scams ceased to be in the autocomplete. So I don't know how much I love this as a robust strategy, but it's where we are now. To learn more about how to spot, avoid, and report scams, blah, 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 ftc.gov/scams. We'll check this out on another time. The Federal Trade Commission works to promote competition and protect educated consumers. FTC will never demand money. Okay, I don't know. I have notes on the way they wrote all this. I'm sure we'll talk about it some other time. Head on over to reportfraud.ftc.gov. Thanks, FTC. Yep, most of that tracks with what I'm seeing. Good job, team. Any questions, class? Look at that. I just got to do that. I just got to use the button that did the thing. All right, let me check your comments. I had a less than legitimate call to buy my home. Today I learned people still answer phones. I'll tell you what, BioCow, nobody leaves voicemail messages anymore, so I've started leaving voicemail messages. And I don't know if I listen to voicemails, but I read the transcripts on that. I asked why they were calling me so often, and they said, it is my job. I said, your job is to just call random people and try to buy their house? That's stupid. And he replied, well, I could walk around knocking on doors all day, but this would take forever and hurt my feet. Not bad. That's hilarious. Yeah, dude. The scam robots, as a matter of fact, Charles Rubach, the video with the scam bot, I really want to crack the right title for that, because that's an important video that is good content, but it never really cracked where it needed to crack. Okay, let's do switch account to this guy. Let's see. Yeah, all the way down here. There we go. So I just changed. We had one A/B test that said, would your mom fall for a robo scammer? That did okay. But I just tried this one. Not for crime. How to build a robo scammer. Yeah. I wonder. We'll see. We'll see what this one does. That'll be interesting. Oh, yeah. Weaponizing the loneliness epidemic. It's a real thing. And I'm telling you, Charles, we talked about it. I got to tell you, man, the impulse to resist going and meeting people in person is real, because our homes are so comfortable that the default lane is such a siren song that it's really hard to resist. I went to that Meshtastic meetup. I found like 4 gateway moments between here and there that I was tempted to not bother to show up, because it's hard to walk into a building with nobody, not knowing anybody. And with the Meshtastic crew, everybody had antennas. I knew to at least look for antennas, and I knew it was an announced meetup, and I knew that nobody would give me a hard time. And everybody, of course, was incredibly friendly. And it took about 20 seconds to get past the awkward, and it was utterly fascinating. In fact, one of them gifted me a mesh core device that I just set up this morning. In fact, now I'm plugged in with the mesh core network. By the way, Meshtastic is fine, but here in Austin, it looks like a lot of people are moving to mesh core. Wow. Look at all these. Look at all these. And I kind of love that we're not sorted by demographic or known interests or anything. It's its own thing. I think that's the healthiest way to be, man. Take it from this oil kid who moved every 2 years as a child. It's healthy to move around a lot and meet a lot of people. Take care, Earth 56. Good to see you. Step 1, don't be social. That's hilarious. Yeah, by the way, it's Adam said, rest in peace, United States Postal Service. To be honest, I actually am bullish on USPS. I want to do clever projects that involve mailing lots of people because that's almost like a secret form of communication now. Isn't that wild? Yeah, the scamp, it's Truman Show 2. Welcome to Hollywood. That's funny. Was that person you, Brian? Communism. Oh, like communism, kind of? 64157 says, I don't answer unknown numbers. Recently, I got a voicemail, and it sounded like an elderly lady asking if I was Amazon customer service. That's great. Wasn't there a public number for Brian's fire eating like 15 years ago? Yeah, I think it still works. This is the other thing is, I think it's 866-EAT-FIRE. We'll see. Yeah, I like all those titles as well. When I answer an unknown call, got to for job searches, I don't say hello until 3 seconds have passed. Cut down interaction with spam callers immensely. Yeah, that and also the habit of dispassionately asking, are you about to make any kind of solicitation? Oh, sure. Yeah, so like Charles, everybody took a break and at different layers, we're getting cozy at getting back to it. It takes a moment. Sick of the whole business. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I got it. Yeah, the AI assistant thing helps a lot. All right, gang. That is it for my time. We got to flip the switch and go over to... Here, I'm going to start doing this. There we go. This is a new thing I'm going to do. And that's it for another Office Hours. Oh, nope. Sorry, let's try that again. Take 2. And that's it for another Office Hours. Office Hours. Scamming the Scampocalypse. An episode of Scam School and more. Brought to you by Brian Brushwood. Here in the chat, we're ATL John Boy. Oh yeah, it's Adam. Communism. Not Scary Steve. Charles Rubach. Oh man, that would be fun. BioCow. Add this to the list. Let's vibe code closing credits. I can just paste them in and roll over this, and I'll read them out loud at the end of each episode. Kian Lafford provided crying laughing emoji. Oh yeah, it's Adam. Said laters. Jonathan Hazlitt said great idea. And Donkey King celebrated the Diamond Club. For more information, go to the internet. Also, don't forget to watch. We're having a new premiere of a Modern Rogue episode. I'm Brian Brushwood. Have a fantastic day.